Hello boys and girls, Mr. Giomini. I want to walk you through the Topic 1 online topic assessment. And what I'm going to do is, what I would suggest for you is to maybe have another window open where you can actually take the assessment, and then before you submit an answer, come back and watch the video, hit pause, and I'm about to start it, do your question. Once you're done with your question, get a final answer. Hit resume on the question, see if you have it right, and then you should have your work next to you. You can kind of check your work as I go along, because I'm going to do my work as well, but on the screen here. Let's get started here and see what we can do. First question, evaluate the expression below. Enter your answer in the box. Now, looking at this question, and let's see if I can get back here to, there we are. All right, now it says, in parentheses, 8 1/10 plus 7 4/10, close parentheses, minus 25 divided by 2 5/10, or 2 1/2. Now the first step for me, I'm going to look at parentheses. I see the parentheses here of 8 1/10 plus 7 4/10. Well, the 1 and the 4 in the tens place gives me 5 with nothing to carry over. The 8 and the 7 in the ones place gives me 15. So that now is gone. Now I have 15 5/10 minus 25 divided by 2 1/2. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to circle my operations. There's no parentheses, no exponents. So now I'm going to clue in on the key in on the operations. Then we have subtraction and division. Well, I know I need to divide first. Well, this division was set up like this. 25 becomes my dividend. 2 1/2 becomes my divisor. Now I know that I cannot have a decimal in my divisor, so I'm going to multiply this by 10, which simply moves the decimal one place to the right, makes it 25. But I need to mirror that movement in the dividend, which then moves the decimal here. I'll put that up in the quotient. Now I really have 250 divided by 25. Well, I know that 25 doesn't go into 2, but goes into 25 once, and that gives me 25. So there's really nothing left over, but I have to put a number above that 0. And that gives me 10, because 10 times 25 would give me 250. Now I go back to my problem here. Now I still have that 15 5/10, but now that is minus 10. 15 5/10 minus 10, well, I would of course want to line up decimal points, and you're going to say, Mr. Me, there's no decimal point in 10. Well, yes, there is. It's just not really there. We don't put it there, but it's right there, and I could put a 0 here. This is still 10, and the operation is to subtract. That's 5. That is 5. I get an answer of 5 5/10. So 5 5/10. Let's take a look. We'll put it in. Now with this type of thing, they will not tell me if my answer is right or wrong immediately. So we'll have to wait to the very end. All right, so I'm going to hit next. Okay, let's take a look. Muffins are sold in packages of 18. So that means there's packages of muffins. In each package there are 18 muffins. Select, there's my verb, select the expression that can represent the total number of muffins in P packages. So that means I don't know how many packages I'm buying. I'm just buying a whole bunch. But they want to know how many I could find if I bought a whole bunch. Well, the key thing is I have 18, 18, 18, 18, 18, and 18. So it looks like to me this is just repeat addition. So I could just say, hey, 18 plus 18 plus 18, but there isn't that. Oh, but wait, repeat addition is the same as multiplication. So I can say 18 times the number of packages that I buy. So going through here, 18 plus P, well, if I bought one package, does that make sense? 18 plus 1 gives me 19. That doesn't make sense, but I have 18 times P. Well, obviously, if I buy multiple packages of 18, my number's going to get bigger rather than smaller. So it's not going to be 18 minus P. Same with division here. I'm not taking 18 divided by the number of packages I bought. So if I bought 2 packages, 18 divided by 2 gives me 9. That doesn't make sense that I have 9 total muffins. And then this is also with the coefficient, which is 18, times the variable, which is the unknown number of packages I'm buying, P. All right? Again, once I hit next, it's not going to tell you if it's right or wrong. I have to wait to the end. Okay, select the terms in the expression 9b minus 8. So we have 9b minus 8, and remember that terms are separated by an addition or subtraction sign. So we know we have two terms. We have two terms in this. Oops, let's see if I can spell Write cursive correctly. So we have two terms. We have 9b is the one term, and 8 is the other term. Remember, 9 is not a term because it is being multiplied. Terms are separated by subtraction or addition, not by multiplication. So we have two terms, meaning I should have two answers here. Now, 8 is one of those terms. 9 is not the term. If 9 were by itself, yes it is, but it's being multiplied by the variable b. So that 9b is the term. So 9 is not, b is not, and the same reason I just gave for 9 is not. And then we have this. Now 9b minus 8 does look tempting, but that's an expression, not a term. All right. So let's hit next. All right. What is the coefficient of the variable expression 1/8 k? So all that is a fancy way for saying, hey, what is 1/8? What is 1/8 times k? So let's see here. Because it's a coefficient, it means I'm multiplying something by a variable. Well, here's the variable k. So k can't be the coefficient. What's being multiplied by k? Hey, it's the 1/8. And it just says what is the coefficient, not what is the coefficients. It's not plural. So that's just 1/8. Let's clear my screen. Let's go next. Okay, the same digits are used for the expression 3 to the second power and 2 to the third power. Select the symbol that correctly compares the expressions. Well, let's see what I have options here. I have less than, so 3 to the second power is less than 2 to the third. 3 to the second power is greater than 2 to the third, or 3 to the second is equal to 2 to the third. Well, first, you know what? Let's just find out what 3 to the second is. Remember, it's just fancy ways for saying what is 3 times 3. 3 times 3 equals 9. And then 2 to the third. 2 to the third is just a fancy way of saying, a shorter way of saying, what is 2 times 2 times 2? Well, 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. So we are comparing the numbers 9 and 8 with an inequality symbol of either greater than, less than, or equal to. Well, I can automatically cancel out. I know they're not equal to. Is 9 less than 8? No, I'd rather have $9 than $8. So the answer, the correct inequality symbol there would be greater than. So go over here, click. We have greater than. And we clear the page here. And I'm going to hit next. Choose yes or no to tell if the expressions are equivalent. Okay, I have a lot of work to do here. It says 6 and 2/10 times, open parentheses, 8 and 9/10 minus 3 and 3/10, close parentheses, and 6 and 2/10 and 5 and 6/10. Well, the first thing I notice, these two are exactly the same. What I need to do is figure out the difference inside the parentheses here. So let's go 8 and 9/10 minus 3 and 3/10. Okay, I'm subtracting here. Let's double check. 8, okay, that's 5. Oh, nope, there we go. That's 6. Oh, so this is the same as 5 and 6/10. Hey, these are equal to each other. So yes, they are equivalent. So I'll come here, click yes. Let's take a look at the next one. Okay, we have another set of parentheses. It says 9 and 7/10 plus 8 and 2/10 minus 5 and 3/10 is the same as 9 and 7/10 plus 2 and 9/10. Well, let's take a look. 9 and 7/10 plus 8 and 2/10. Well, that gives me 9 decimal point 17. Now I'm going to subtract the 5 and 3/10. So we have minus 5 and 3/10. Well, that gives me 6, right? That's 2 and that's 1. Okay, so the final answer for the left side, this expression on the left, is 12 and 6/10. Let's see if this equals 12 and 6/10. 9 and 7/10 plus 2 and 9/10. I will add them. 9 plus 7 is 16. 9 and 2 is 11, plus 1 is 12. Hey, look, they give me both 12 and 6/10, meaning they are indeed equivalent. So that is a yes. Okay, let's take a look at the next one. In parentheses, we have 3 to the third minus 1 and 8/10 divided by 4 and 2/10. We hope that's equal to 7 and 2/10 divided by 4 and 2/10. So inside the parentheses, we have 3 and 3/10 minus 1 and 8/10. And then that's divided by 4 and 2/10. Well, let's look inside the parentheses here. 3 and 3/10, or 3 to the third power, is 27. 27 minus 1 and 8/10, still in parentheses, divided by 4 and 2/10. I think 27 minus 1 and 8/10, see, that's 27 minus 1 and 8/10, decimal point, add the 0. Okay, that becomes 10. That's a 2. That makes this a 6. Isn't that 25 and 1/10 divided by 4 and 2/10? Now, before I even do any division, let's take a look. This gives me 25 and 2/10 divided by 4 and 2/10. This gives me 7 and 2/10 divided by 4 and 2/10. These two dividends are not the same, but yet the divisors are the same. So then the quotient would not be equal. So I'm going to hit no. Those two expressions would not, or numerical sentences would not be equivalent. Take a look at the last one. 7 and 8 and 6/10 minus 4 and 2/10 and 7 times 4 and 4/10. All right, let's take a look here. Well, let's see here. I'm going to have to do some math because I can't really, I want to just make sure. I don't think they're equivalent, but I want to do the math to double check. So we have 8 and 6/10 times 7. That's 42. Gives me a 4. That's 56. 56 plus 4, I think, is 60. So that's 60 and 2/10 minus 4 and 2/10. That's 0. Gives me a 10. That's a 5. That's 6. Okay, this side gives me a 56. Now, I'm pretty confident that 7 times 4 is 28. So this is close to 4.5. So that's going to give me at most another 7 halves. That's going to be nowhere close to 56. So I'm going to click here and say, no, these are not equivalent. All right, I'm going to hit next because I feel like I'm done. Okay, let's take a look. Mike sells loaves of banana bread for $6 each. He spends $25 on supplies. Now it says drag here, but there are no numbers to drag. We're just clicking on the correct answer. Drag the numbers to complete an expression that shows how much he earns if he sells B loaves of banana bread. Now here's the thing. Because he's buying supplies, that's going to take away from his profit. So that is a minus 25. Because you have to spend that money. And that money comes from your profits. Or it's going to come away from your revenue, really. Now let's take a look. I know this is not right because it says plus 25. Now it says he sells loaves of banana bread for $6 each. If he sells B loaves, well, let's see here. If I sold 1 loaf, that'd be 6 times 1 equals 6. If I sold 2 loaves, if I sell 2 loaves, that'd be 6 times 2 equals 12. If I sell 3 loaves, that's 6 times 3 equals 18. Now the constant here is the 6. The thing that's changing is the amount of loaves I sell. But notice what operation I'm doing. I'm doing multiplication. So it'd be 6 times B minus 25. All right. My revenue minus my costs will give me my profit. So the correct answer here is 6B minus 25. Next one, Miss Thompson wants to buy centerpieces to use at a party. It costs $49 to have the centerpieces delivered. So that's just to have them delivered. Plus, there's the key word here, plus, uh-oh, is my pen not working? Oh, it'll glitch there in the matrix. Plus 89 cents per, meaning multiplication, centerpiece. So $49 is going to, even if I have 1 centerpiece delivered, it's $49. Plus, however many centerpieces she has made, which is 89 cents per centerpiece. Let C be the number of centerpieces that Miss Thompson purchases. Choose the expression that shows the amount of money she'll pay altogether for each centerpiece. Well, let's take a look. Looks like we're going to have $49 plus the 89 cents per centerpiece. Now, it says evaluate. Evaluate, fancy word for solve. Evaluate the expression to find out how much Miss Thompson will pay if she orders 400 centerpieces. So we know she's going to have to pay $49 no matter what. Plus, she's paying 89 cents per each centerpiece, but she's buying 400 now. So let's do some multiplication first. Now, because we have 2 zeros, I'm actually put the 89 on top, and I'll put the 400 like this. Because multiply all the zeros, just give me 0. So I'm just going to bring those 2 zeros down. And now I go 8 times 9 is 36. 8 times 4 is 32. 32 plus 3, I think, gives me 32 plus 3 gives me 35, right? Now, look, we have 2 decimal places. So we move the decimal over 2 places. Because no way is 400 times 89 cents, which is less than $1, gives me 35,600. But I know 400 times $1 would give me about $400. So this makes sense, $356. But now we have to remember we're adding to that this delivery cost. So we have $356 plus the $49 we're paying for delivery. That's 15, that's 9, that's 10, and that is 4, I believe. Correct? So is that $405? Let's see. 400, oops, no decimal point, $405. I don't need to put the decimal point there. So we'll clear that out. Hit next. Okay, Juana's truck can travel 14 miles on 1 gallon of gasoline. How many gallons of gasoline will Juana need to travel 714 miles? Use the formula. So they're giving me a formula. Use it. Where M represents the miles per gallon. Hey, wait, she's getting 14 miles on a gallon of gas. Over D is the distance traveled. Hey, D, or that's actually under, D is the distance traveled. Oh, she travels 714 miles. And G is the gallons of gas used. So let's see here. So I know that this M is the miles per gallon. This D is the distance. So I use this formula. I'm going to put the D on top, divide it by how many miles are traveled. So it's a division problem. And that's going to give me how many gallons she'll use. 714 becomes my dividend. 14 becomes my divisor. So what times 14 will give me close to 71? Well, 14 won't go into 7, but it will go into 71, I think 5 times, which gives me exactly 70. That's 1. Bring down the 4. Hey, 14 goes into 14 one time. She will need to use 51 gallons of gasoline to cover that distance. All right, last one before I take a break. Choose yes or no if the expressions are equivalent. Well, the one is 8b plus 16. The next one is 2 times 4b plus 8. Let's see, distributive property. Oh, 16, not 14, Mr. Giomini. Here we go. Let's erase that. Let's fix this. Sometimes you're going too fast. You make a simple mistake. So that gives me 8b plus sign, 16. Yes, they are equivalent. So I'm going to hit yes. Next one, 2 times, open parentheses, 6m plus 2, close parentheses, and 8m plus 4. Well, I'm going to just do this. What's 2 times 6m? 12m. That says 8m. That's not equivalent. Next one. Looks like here we have 4 times 4a, which isn't that 16a, plus 4 times 3, which is 12. But notice, they just switched. They gave me the same numbers, but they switched the variable, which does not make this equivalent. So that is also a no. Now we have 9x minus 6. Well, if I take a look, their greatest common factor is 3. So if I factor a 3 out, and I'll divide each term by 3, 9 divided by 3 is 3. The variable stays, minus 6 divided by 3 is 2. Hey, look, those are equivalent. So that is a yes. All right, next. Now let's see if I could hit view my progress and see what happens here. So view progress. Okay, I've answered all the questions. Unfortunately, it does not tell me if I'm right or wrong. All right, so I'm going to pause here, and I'm going to come back, and we will see how well we did at the end. All right, take care. Bye.